Now, there is probably another group of people who may have possession of this knowledge, who are guarding it, who don't want other people to possess it. And as a challenge to those people, I would say why? Because as I began this video, there has previously been a basis. There has previously been a reason not to do that, because it is too difficult for them to understand it, or because that the people who do possess it might be endangered by that disclosure. And so if this disclosure is endangering people, that would be the continuity of that knowledge in its proper cultural context, then you wouldn't want to burden those people with that extra added movement. And so if you noticed on the Astrotometry channel, after I introduced the earthquake forecasting, there was a shift. There was a significant shift in the treatment that astrotometry was getting in the community from some of the, what you might call the bigger hitters, who have these pumped up subscriber lists and who have positioned themselves as authorities on science. And so from the perspective of those people, these are the people who need the music. These are the people who are going to need consolation. The same sort of consolation that I've given myself in writing the music, coming from their schools, coming from that path. And that consolation is, in my opinion right now, some of the most important things in order to avoid the sort of religious conflicts, the sort of religious wars that have historically cost humanity its numbers. And so hitting the second point on you folks in the extreme front row who keep very quiet, I don't consider those numbers to be a problem at this point. And I think the problems we're seeing with the nature of the soul as it manifests in the journey that every man is taking through time-space can be remedied with this information. And so before there is this problem of scarcity, before there is this problem of resource contention, we should consider the fruit of peace. We should consider the fruit of a peaceful world that might enable these everymen to understand their place in the rhyme above the clouds. And those places exist. Those places are real. And one of the things that I've been asked by a lot of people is it strictly an illusion up there? Is it strictly a reflection of what's down here? And I think the point is moot at this juncture in my research. The point is moot. It doesn't matter. Because it's virtually true. Whether or not they exist as independent three-dimensional spaces that are separated in time by our movement through space, or whether this is the only one that changes in real time with the dances we do, it's irrelevant. Because you're already there. When you realize that you're already there, when what is up there is already a part of what you are, in an irreducible way, it changes your whole perspective on the world. Because in order for you to have been, it had to be. And so there is, in essence, this rhyme above the clouds that folds into every moment in this sort of eternal complexity. And this isn't an excuse for betrayal of this knowledge. This is never an excuse to hide or covet this knowledge. And I think to do so is influencing your reality in a very negative way. And I realize that there are a lot of negative people that want to see the whole world burn. They want to see death and destruction, and I think that's tragic. I think that, considering the beauty of the nature of the world that we live in, that we should be appreciating that